All right, hello once again, Jeff Scott from Jeff Teaches Programming. And in the last video, excuse me, we continued on with our C DataGridView example. And I had errors, but one thing I noticed, and you may have also, I don't know, but all the errors that I had were not in the program I was working on. They were all in the BMI library. And the reason I was getting those errors in the BMI library is what I was adding, I needed to go back into the package manager, NuGet package manager, and install Microsoft.SQL client, data.SQL client, version 6.1.3. Then everything worked. But what that did was it gave me errors in on my original EF Core project. And then when I went in there, what I discovered was I had this, still had the old names in here. So this said validation lib, and this said BMI lib. But as soon as I changed those, they were gone. So as far as I know now, all the errors that I had have all been fixed, as far as I know. And now when I come back to the regular program here, the only thing I've got working here is an exit button. All right, but it does come up, and notice I can do it from either place. So I can do it from either one, and that works. So that's all working. So I want to continue on from here then. All right. So let's just start with create. And remember, we've got create in two places. We've got it here and we've got it here. So let's just put in here, we'll have a new routine we'll call add a new person record. We're going to get an error because, of course, that doesn't exist. All right, so let's add it right below there. So private void add a new person record. Now all the errors are gone, okay, but we have to actually do this. All right, so what do we want to do in here? Well, we want to take the current form, which is our startup form, and we want to hide it. So we want to say this dot hide. All right. In fact, before we even do that, we probably should come in and create a new. Let's see. We'll say FRM create person. We'll call it create equals new FRM create person. Okay, then this dot hide and create dot show dialog. All right, now we have nothing. We've done nothing in that create thing at all. But let's see if this works. So file, save all, and we'll try it both from the button and from the button and from the menu. So create. Okay, and that came up. FRM create person. So that's working. Okay, we might as well get the other ones done as well. So on this one, this is read. We'll call this, we call that one add a new person. We're going to call this show all persons. Again, we'll get an error. Totally fine. And we'll write that down below as well. We'll use the same pattern we used here. Of course, we'll have to change the names, but that's okay. So this will be FRM, and it's read all persons. We'll just call it read. Let's just put all four of them in, okay? So we'll call this, we call that add a new person. We'll call this update an existing person. We'll write that one down here. You can see this is, natural pattern emerging here. So again, I'm just going to grab that. What did we call that other one? It's still running. So that was FRM update person. Why is that showing that? Good gravy. Update person, it's right there. Oh, that still says startup. What does startup say? That is startup. Oh, look at that. Name is BTM Create. What is... Oh, no, that's the button. The FRM startup. With this, got a wrong name. That should be FRM update person. That hasn't changed, but we can change that manually in here, which is for now, we'll call it FRM update person. Okay, I changed that. Let's go back to our startup here. Let's make these even simpler. So we're going to this create, we're going to call it CP for create person. All right. Show all persons, we'll call it SAP. Show all persons. Update, we're going to call it UP for update person. All right, I'm going to copy this, and we're going to call this delete an existing person. Okay, this will be changed to that. Again, we're going to call it DP for delete person. All right, now we should be able to go to any form. So there's create. Okay. There's read. There's update. And finally, there's delete. So all of those are now working. Now, hopefully you've already discovered that one thing we want to be able to do, I think I'm only going to put one button on all of the other forms, and it's just basically going to say main startup. So we'll go back and forth. I don't like it where I can go back and forth between all these. It gets too darn confusing. So what I mean is this. Let's just we'll grab the next one would have been, I think it's read. I don't remember. No, it's create. All right. So the first thing I want to do, and I'll do this for all of them, is I want to come in here and change the color. Again, we're using that light purple. All right. I'm going to change my start position to center screen, and I'm going to put a button near the bottom of it. In fact, I think I'm going to make this a little bigger than I normally would do. And I'm going to call this FRM return to startup. All right. And I'm going to put the code, the stuff in there too. Return to startup. Okay. Now, what do we want to put in there? Well, we could put a menu option too in there, but since it's just one thing, I'm going to leave it the way it is. I'm going to move that there. All right. And again, kind of like we did before. I don't know if that's still in there or not. It's not. Let's see. We'll call this, we'll just call it return to startup. I don't want that to be called that. Return to startup. Okay, we'll fix that in just a minute. Private void return to startup. Okay, so this will be FRM startup, SU for startup, equals new FRM startup, this dot hide, SU dot show dialog. Now, probably what I should do is, rather than repeating this, I should probably again go in and create create some kind of a library file. First of all, let's just see if this works. All right. So file, save all. Now when I go to create, it should be purple and it should be centered. That's good. Return to startup. Okay, so all that stuff's working. All right. And what I think I'm going to do, where am I for time? 13 minutes. I think I'll take the rest of this video and just fix all these. All right. In other words, I'm going to grab this. And like I said, I could go and write some kind of a library file or something. I'm just going to put it in each one of these. So let me first do a file, save all. And next would be the read all persons. And again, let's do this. View code, and I'm going to come in here and just paste that in. Again, it's gray because it's not being used. Totally fine. I'm going to put this in all of them. Okay, so that's now in all of them. So that's the first thing I want to do. Second, and again, this stuff I'm doing here is not all that important, but it's busy work, you could even say. So let's just come in here And we've done our create person. And I'm going to change the name in here, the text. DataGridView CRUD program. Create a new record screen. All right, so this is, let's just go ahead and put this in here so I've got it. I want this to look similar. So this is size 297.73 and location is there. So again, I just want all of these to look the same as I'm going back and forth between them. Okay. All right, so that one's done. This one is done. So file, save all, and let's just go to the next one, which again will be our read all persons. So we will come in here and where is delete, create. We put in, I'm going to grab the same thing in here, but just change it to change the message a little bit. I like there to be a lot of consistency when I'm doing this. To me, it just makes sense to do that. So we'll change the color right away to purple. We will change the start position to center screen. We will add a button. All right, whoops. And for that button, for the location, it'll be 290, oops, try that again. That'll be the location. And for the size, $297.73. Okay, same kind of thing. I'm just going to keep doing the same stuff. You're going to see me do it twice more. I think this was return. Was it return to startup? Return to startup, and it was called FRM. I'm sorry. The button should have been called BTN. Return to startup, not FRM. There we go. So. Change the size of that text. Okay, so now that one's done. Got to grab the code that we had in there before. I think we had the code in there already, but we just want to call this. And again, just because I like this, let's put that down here. There, so that should fix that one. So let's make sure. So we can now go to create, and we can go back to here, and we can go to read, and we can go back. I didn't change the message for read. And then we'll go back and do the same thing for update and delete. So it now says View All Records screen, which I think is better. So File, Save All. For now, I haven't written the code for the forms yet, but I'm going to remove this one and Startup and Create and Read. So I just have delete, update. That's good. All right. So let's go to the next one, which was our update. Again, we're going to do the same kind of stuff. So it now says update in existing, even though it's spelled wrong. There we go, we got that done. Change the color real quick. Okay, I think we already changed the start position, did we not? Yes, we did. So we will add a button. And again, there's the size. And let's just immediately go in and change. Okay, so that's fixed. The location is next. Okay, we want this to be called BTN Startup, and I'm not sure if I changed the name of the last one. So I'm going to open that one, which was Read All Persons. BTN Return to Startup, good. Okay, so this will also be called BTN Return to Startup. And we will put the text down there, Return to Startup. And we will double click it. All right, let's move this down right away. And this will be Return to Startup. Let's double check and make sure that one works. This was the update. So when you look, we can now go to create and back to create. Yep, we got create and back to read. Yep, and back, and now to update and back. Okay, so the only one left is delete. Let's do that one quickly. So again, I'm just going to close this, and I'm going to close this. And in the next video, we're going to start to write the code that goes along with these. So again, bring up one of the other ones. Doesn't matter which one. So this now says delete an existing record screen. Good. We need our button. There it is. I don't know why I keep forgetting. I think the size was 297.73. This is BTN return to startup. This will say return to startup. We have to change the size. Let's do the text right away. It'll look a little wonky for a minute. Okay. Size. Try that again. Oh, I know why it's yes. It's got to be 297.73. There's that. And the location is 262.353. Let's bring that up and just copy it. Copy. So location. All right, so those are all done basically. Okay, again, we're going to move this down. Let's do it like this. Okay, and return to startup. Okay, file, save all. Let's do one last check and then we'll stop this video and then start to do the code on the next one. Create and back, read and back, update and back, delete and back, and exit. Okay, so everything is working right now. And when we come back, we're going to write the code that we want to have happen in here. So we're going to add the data grid view and then add some code. And I'll be back with that very shortly.